Yeah, activity. Jeez, you have worse memories than I do. And it's literally all chosen. It's a draw of a hat that is what it is. Anthony actually sets up all the practice behind the scenes to figure out what the fuel and tire wear and usage is. And I think because one or two updates before on the GTS side, we've sort of added the additional tire compound purely to match everything up within the pit stop strategy. So it's one of those things that I've heard happened.
Yeah, the longer pit stops makes it difficult for uh, the FF cars, definitely. Now in GT Sports, I know some of them are like 45 seconds that you wait in the pit stop, so kind of more realistic, but yeah, I don't know. It
Yeah.
kills the FF cars because they have like hectic tire wear. So they are really quick, but they have to always do an extra pit stop. So I like the fact that we have to have a couple of more tires involved.
Couple of more tires just to expand it out a bit, man. The poor boys, we gotta try and compensate for everything we give to them.
Yeah, 100%.
Besides, yeah, besides the fact that we randomly select tracks, we randomly select cars. The only thing we ask of the boys is to pitch and race with whatever cars and tracks we give them.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, sometimes not everyone's always happy. I understand for this race, because there's a lot of straights. The Lambo and the Viper are going to be really quick around here. So I know some of the guys have the Lambo, and I think Pace has the Viper. So yeah, we'll see how they do here. But pretty much this is just four long straights.
Yeah,
There's
so
nothing
that's
else you can do. Yeah,
pretty well set up for the guys in the straights in general. Well, the quick fast oaks, the
yeah,
fast cars. Let me not say fast oak because all of them are quite quick.
yeah.
So it's the fast cars kind of thing. But front wheels are relatively dominating on speed. I mean, I remember the days where the Audi was massively quick in its days.
Yeah, they are. Um, Although I think in this Pool A race, there's no FF cars in this particular race. So no one in this pool at least has an FF car. But yeah, the Volkswagen is pretty quick around here as well. Um, but like I say, they just eat tires.
Well, let's see what they do, man. Who do we have in this pool? So we've got a couple of big boys, big names. I
Yeah,
even have to
actually,
catch up who all they are.
let me check. Let me check. We have.
Got Fluffy, Fluffy is off, so Jaffield, Taylor, Dan, Nitro, Dino, TSM, Richard, Pace, D-Man, Donkey, Safa, and
Well,
again, Donkey
Deaky.
and Safa's been, yeah, oh, Diki and Safa's been, sorry, Diki and Safa has been dominating most of the races lately.
Yeah, and I know
So
that
that's going to be,
Dan the man can't race tonight, so he's getting subbed by DMR Astralis, um, who also happens to be German. So is Dan the man, so they can them as German buddies can sub for each other, I guess. Um, but yeah, like I said, none of these guys have any FF cars, so yeah, it should make it interesting. I just heard the Viper and the Lambo are pretty good. I know that Taylor Uwe has the Lambo. And Pace has the Viper, so we'll see. The Mercs apparently are not too bad. The Hyundai might die a bit in this race, so we'll see if Nitro Merlin is able to do that.
yeah, I don't think we've given good tracks that favored the Hyundai at all. Again, a car I took out once, many moons ago in GT. Kind of liked it because it's got a good feel to it, and it was not that bad. It's just a pity it never had any pace to it. GT4s and GR3s. Good with fuel though, very good with fuel.
Yeah.
But if that's gonna be the changer, then yeah, it's all about pit times and pit strategies.
Yeah, it's also good with tires, so maybe it can just run longer stints on the soft compound. So we'll see if that kind of makes up. Um, but yeah, qualifying starting in 5 minutes. I'm going to quickly jump to some Rebel advert, I guess. Cool guys. So yeah, if you want some LNR Rebel merch, Rebel Store, ZA.com collections, logistical nightmare. Um, Sean, I've got all your your stuff, so I need to ship it to you. But it's pretty cool. I got my my logistical nightmare hoodie on Friday, and yeah, man, good quality, and a couple of shirts as well.
Yeah. Well, that's a big box of things that you got from me, so I can't wait to get it.
Yeah.
And who do
So
we have on this stream? So we got Gerard, Melose, Flores. Hey boys, don't be shy, say hi.
and guys, let us know if all the sound is right because I've got a lot of sound inputs right now. So I just hope that everything's working correctly. Um, Sharks, do you want to tell the guys a little bit more about Logistical Nightmares Patreon?
Oh, I can. I see you talk about it quite often. So let me refresh everyone. LNR, Patreon. So what it's all about, boys, is to get the community going, man. It's all about fundraising, getting things into play. Again, there's three levels of tiers there. One is purely for pay it forward campaigns. So we do like to do things good. For whatever cash or funds we do end up raising, we provide it to third party applications, communities, people, anything to do with sim racing, helping others, helping the need, things like that. So I like getting involved with a lot of things. So that's purely for a tier one, level one kind of participant. Then we've got like a tier level two system, which is all about, of course, sim racing. So it's got that paid forward initiative. Simultaneously to that, we try and get the guys coaching sessions. Again, CDA Coach Dave sessions once every 3 months. So it's a good learning curve for those. We do try and help out the guys with setups if and when they want anything. Again, predominantly in relations to Assetto Corsa Competizione on PlayStation 4. And then, of course, we have the level 3 bosses Patreon thing, which is a basics of level 2 with the additions of free merchandise shipped globally to any destinations in the world. No shipping charges for you. And you get four things during the course of 12 months, which is actually quite cool. And then from there, you join up, and all we would sign you up and put you in a secret channel box where we can sit and chat and talk about everything else. And of course, you get the free glance of understanding how we run things in the background. I mean, it's kind of what it is to give you an eyesight of what we do. You have input as a patron, and it's for the support of the community and everything else involved.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool actually seeing what's going on there. And yeah, it's a cool group of guys. So I mean, you can join for as little as what is it? Tier one, £1 a month. So
I think tier one is, I think it's £1 or $3 or something like that.
yeah,
It's
I think so.
at the lowest margin we can possibly get. We don't want to fork out. It's not about someone getting rich at the end of the day. It's all about what we can invest into the community. It adds on to a lot of things because again, nothing is for free these days. So it bonds onto website costs. running costs, all the little things that eventually adds on to at the end of the day. And it's a helping hand. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, 100%. And the little community that's there already is pretty fun as well. So some good banter as well.
It's not just the banter, it's the good advice that you boys bring to the table as well.
Yeah, some of it's not all that good, but we try to add some excitement. I think the guys are going to start quali now, or they have started. Let me quickly check.
And we
Uh,
gotta pick it up, huh? It's like 8 o'clock. Let's see where the boys are. Ooh, I see German flags, SA flags, flags all over the show, Mercs in the view. Hey, that RTA livery looks good. Hey, Skitty.
yeah, are you getting sound now? No, I don't think so. Um, it's because they restarted the lobby. Okay, cool. Yeah, quali's on right now.
So a full lobby restart. All the boys are getting onto the track. Tokyo. Not one of my favorite ones though. Like there's so many things about this track that makes me scared. Whether it's the corners, the fast entry, I don't know. There's just too much.
Yeah, you gotta watch those walls as well, man.
Exactly.
It's a tough track, but people can go really quick, yeah. Um, yeah, it's just about using the full track and just not touching the walls. I see everyone is pretty much on the outlap. So something interesting, I guess, for this track is that the pits are like way before the start line.
Mm.
Um, so basically, these guys aren't doing a full outlap. They come out the pits and then they only go over the start line after coming out the pits, uh, which means
Come on.
quali should
I
be
hate to
pretty
be the
quick.
interrupter. It seems like the either the stream's buffering, the lags are buffering, or it's something.
Um,
Because we see snapshots of it in the stream.
okay,
It's getting clear there by me.
let me try and read. I'll check now when it's back up on stream. Okay. Yeah, I do see it is buffering a little bit. I wonder why. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming in two places at the same time, which could be. Guys, how does the stream look now? Looking at my preview, it looks fine.
Yeah, I've got it on mine as well. So I've got it all clear there by on the stream. It looks good on this one you're sharing. Oh, it's just one of those little things, man. Slight lag, slight twitch
Yeah,
here and
I
there.
just restarted it, so hopefully it works fine now.
Much
Uh,
better, Melose. There we go. Back
okay,
onto the system.
awesome. So yeah, I guess these guys should be, or TSM already finished his lap. I'm not sure what's quick lap here. Diki second right now, Safa third. Dino is still
Oh,
busy, but he's on purple it seems.
it just doesn't like you doing both of the things at the same time.
Is it still doing that? I see that.
Yeah,
I see that. I see that. Um, maybe I need to stop the one that's going to Discord.
yeah,
Uh,
maybe stop the one that goes to Discord, and then what I'll do is I'll watch on the stream, even though I'm like a couple of minutes behind. At least you can just talk about a few things.
yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, I can see it on stream. Let's hope it fixes up now because I've ended the
Discord
broadcast,
one.
the Discord one.
Either
I'm just refreshing it. Okay, guys, let us know if that is better. I've stopped streaming to Discord, so maybe that will work. Taylor Uwe currently with fastest lap. 2042. And Dino second, Pace third, TSM fourth, Astralis fifth, and Safa sixth, Merlin seventh, and Deke eighth. I don't know where everyone else is. Do we have other people in? A lot of people don't seem to be driving today for some reason.
Couple of guys missing today. Could be the fantastic.
I see in comments there that Jafil is having an issue in the lobby. So they've asked if they can just wait for him to re-enter. He'll probably start at the back.
Malo say you can be in pool A. Just gotta put it out there.
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so we're just waiting for Jafil to enter the lobby, and yeah, he'll, I guess, start from the back.
Unfortunate. Technical difficulties. So where do we sit at? So we still have Taylor in first, Dino in second, Pace in third. Again, a car that you indicated will be very quick. Probably struggled with a lap there. TSM, Diki, Austria, Safa, and then Nitro.
Yeah, I've put on the timing sheet now, and yeah, we only have eight times here, but that's fine. I'm sure Jafil will enter soon. Of course, Fluffy isn't in this race. I'm not sure where D-Man is, if he is going to be racing. I know last week we couldn't see him in the lobby, so that may be the same issue tonight.
Is RTA Safa, is that correct? Yes, he's the Mr. Host man.
Yeah, he is.
Although from a timing sheet, I mean, looking at what we noted down, I mean, the quickest guy is at 204.2, slowest guy is at 205.8. It's going to be a close race. It's all about slipstream, isn't it? I mean, you got to stick onto it. The minute you lose it is where you're going to lose the race, or maybe the position.
Yeah, I think Merlin is going to have the biggest issue in that high Hyundai, because that thing just has terrible top end. But yeah, maybe he can stick and slip. That'll help. But we definitely know he'll have a tire advantage. So
yeah,
maybe
I think if he plays it safe.
Yeah, maybe he can do an extra couple of laps on softs that the others can't. So we'll have to wait and see about that.
Clever tactic. Sit with the guys in front of you. Don't challenge too much. Wait for them to go into the pit. Save your tires as best as you can. Do not lose the slip is kind of the ideal thing. And then see if you can capitalize on those decisions.
Yeah, 100%. I see. Who's Astralis racing for today? Oh yeah, for Dan the Man. Okay, cool. And I see Pace asked, where is Jafil? We'll see if he's going to be...
Yeah, you probably entered the room. Kind of noted something that he popped in and said, hello! So, Daniel, hey, Mr. Blom, I'll say hello to the boys on stream. So, Dignator, Malose, Daniel, who else? Shoots.
Oh, D-Man,
man, just say hi.
D-Man, are you in the lobby? I can't see you, man. Let me quickly...
I can see D-Man.
No, he's not on my list. I'm going to quickly exit the lobby and go back in. We'll quickly see if...
That fixes something.
Yeah, because
why is that always a GTS thing?
Last week we couldn't see him either, so I don't know if it's him and I have an issue. But I've streamed him before and not had a problem at all. So let's just see. We should be in before the race starts.
Yeah, the boys are going to do their tire selections and then pass sector 1, get all comfortable, settle the nerves, if there is any. I mean, I don't even know if alien boys do have nerves.
I'm sure there's always some nerves. The nice thing about this season is there's a lot of fast people in pool one. So okay, I see D-Man now, but do I really see him? Let's see.
Some say
D-Man, drive your car and
invisible
you'll see
as
if
the.
you're moving, man. Unless it's the same story as we've had before. We'll just have to see. Okay, but I definitely have 10 people on track now, so that's good.
Okay. Oh, D-Man is P1. Is that so? Oh, wait, it's all about.
No, I re-entered the lobby, so it won't have the times.
Yes. So everything's confusing for us now again. Back to square one.
Let's see. I think yeah, Jafil just did a lap. Looks like everyone's ready to go.
Seems like it, Malose. Sharks. Why have no invite me to chat? Well, it's because you talk like a Chinese, for one. For two, I don't know. Wasn't a thought, to be honest. I
Well,
opted last week just to come and join the chat because I needed to keep a bit of entertainment. Rowan is doing his best here to stream fantastic racing, so keep the man up, busy is maybe the best word.
yeah, and Malosa, as we said before, man, this is a family-friendly show.
Yes, family friendly.
Okay, let's see if I can see D-Man now. He's 8th on the grid. I hope race is about to start.
All looks well. Cars looks great. Lambo is definitely in front, so ooh, tricky.
Yeah, I'm
We
still
all
not
gotta hope.
seeing D-Man. Sorry, man. And now my cameras don't want to work. Let's see. Going to every other driver and nothing's happening. I guess I'll have to re-enter this lobby.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because I'm like trying to spot what you're seeing, and when you click on D-Man, it just looks like he's stuck on the grid.
Yeah, that's what happened last week as well. Just don't know what's going on there. So sorry, Daniel. We're not going to see you again. But last week, same story. I think he finished 6th or 7th. We just didn't know where he finished.
Invisible man, can't see him at all. Gotta be a GTS thing. It's gotta be a server thing. It's gotta be something weird. I just don't get it why people clash, and then you can't see one another.
I just wish they'd allow us to have our own servers like in ACC, that we don't have to rely on the GDS servers. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
wonder if that'll resolve things in theory. Because again, I always thought that the ACC servers was a better option, but nowadays I'm like, I don't even know if that is a good option.
well, they work better than the GDS, the GT Sport lobbies. So, in my opinion, I don't really find issues with them. This
Okay,
is like
so we got a
getting
big train of
local
points.
servers. Yeah, Dino currently leading out. Taylor Yui just hitting the wall there. Taylor in second. TSM JDJ in third. And then we've got the RTA guys, Saf and Diki, right behind each other. And then KLM Pace, I think he qualified third, so I'm not sure if something happened to him.
Yeah. That's a good one because he's all the way back there.
He is on the hard tire, so maybe he's just started on the hard tire.
That's probably it. It's one of those. Yes, it's one of those tire stones. But then again, there's a big gap between those RTA boys and the DMR TSM boys.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hard to make up itself.
Yeah, the RTA guys are also on hards, it seems, and TSM JDJ softs, Taylor Yui softs, and Dino on softs. So yeah, the guys top 3 guys are on softs. We just saw D-Man there, just stuck there for a little bit. So we do see you on track, we just don't see you moving, D-Man. And then of course we've got Nitro Merlin at the back, also starting on hards, as well as Jafil on hards as well. So yeah, I'm guessing these guys are just going to do one lap. They have to do one full lap. So as I said before, the pits are weird on this track. They're way before the start finish line, so you have to technically do 2 laps on hards to make it into relegation or into what do you call it?
To actually make it count instead of doing like a quarter of a lap on the hards, because it's coming down the straight there by the hairpin where your pit entry is, right?
Yeah. Taylor hitting the wall again. It looks like he's struggling with that Lambo a bit. It's quick, but yeah, hitting the wall is going to slow you down a lot. Dino now pulling over a second gap from Taylor.
So are gunning it at this moment with their soft tires, and everyone from about what 5th place, all pits, pit, and that's a strategic decision.
100%. Let's see how far behind these guys are. Yeah, so 5th and down basically went to go pit, and they 31 seconds from the lead. So yeah, the front guys are going to need to push really hard. Yeah, Stegger. D-Man is being John Cena tonight, man. We can't see him at all. And
so it reminds me that I've some admin to do.
There's always some admin to do, man. Is the stream running fine on your side now, Sharks? There's no issues.
You can see the stream quite well, and there are no issues from my side. I'm probably a bit delayed based on what you see.
Yeah.
But from what I've gathered, those Merc boys are actually doing very well. They're going tie by tie. The Hyundai is not bad. He picked up some spots, so I mean he's ahead of a Lambo or not, or is. They are fighting for hard positions over there.
Yeah, pace falling back. I wonder if he filled up his fuel. He's now on mediums. Okay, looks like all these guys are on mediums, but Pace decided to fill up fuel where the other guys didn't. So he will have that advantage when the next pit comes.
Again, it's all about tire wear, how long you can use it. These boys are going to do 19 laps of this. 19 laps of straight madness, corner by corner, touch the wall, you lose position, you lose the race kind of thing.
Yeah, I see Dino is now pulling a little bit of that gap, and Taylor Yui just sticking it behind TSM JDJ right now. But yeah, I don't think that Lambo's been enjoying the barriers too much. Astralis not doing too bad. He's on mediums. I'm not sure if he pitted. No, he did not pit. He must have started on mediums. And now Saf. Yeah.
No, go for it. Sorry, man.
Saf and Diki. I see Saf has pulled a little bit of a gap to Diki, but they both pretty much have the same tire wear and tires. So yeah, at least they have open air. So we'll see what happens when the leaders start pitting.
It's still a pity because even the gap between those two individuals, and they are part of the team, have that gap. It would have been nice to see them working together so that they can gain the gap of momentum, because then at least one or the other can outdo the top 3 front running guys. Because again, everyone from 5th all the way down went to pit, and the boys in front, the top 3 boys, are like gaining position to position. So when they pit, the idea point is to get in front of them, leapfrog, and not seeing them working together to potentially have that It's kind of interesting. I wouldn't
I
have
think
expected that.
I think they wanted to work together. Maybe something happened with Diki, because generally Diki and Safa drive can really drive on each other's bumpers. So there may just have been a situation where Diki may have hit the wall or something. And obviously Safa doesn't want to slow down. He needs to put in quick laps, especially on this medium stint.
It's an entertaining one this season because again we threw the wheel in the spanner or the spanner in the wheel, whatever the phrase is, and normally it's all the teams driving together in lobbies. So you'll have 6 teams and where they all drive together, work together. This season it's more of a drivers' championship, and the boys need to fight it out to win the drivers' championship, but points still calculate together as a team championship. So some of these Oaks don't have their individual teammates in the same lobby.
Yeah.
For Diki and Safa to have that ability, I think Dino's teammates here as well.
Yeah, TSM JDJ is Dino's teammate.
So Dino and TSM is like top teams, and then the Safa boys are together. Caleb Pace's teammate is not with him. Nitro's neither, and then we got the 2 Lambos, right?
Yeah, that's yeah, I think that's correct. As well as Australis is driving for DMR Dan the Man, and his teammates also in another pool. So yeah, it makes it interesting. The advantage of it, of course, is that most of the guys in the pool are similar pace. I think we found last season that it was difficult with some of the teams where maybe one of the drivers were not on pace, and it just made driving difficult in the pools. It's difficult to drive against guys that are on very different pace.
Pace itself. Yeah. So what you'll get is more close battling between individuals than what we would have normally seen in the past. But then, even saying that, these boys are not even taking the advantage of teammates driving with them to create an advantage, which makes it interesting in some aspect. I mean, I would have expected quite the opposite, but that's not what we're seeing.
Yeah, again, I think it's one of those tracks where if you are driving as a team and one of you hit the wall, the other one needs to carry on going. You don't want to slow down. But I trust Diki can probably catch up to Safa if he needs to. Of course, these guys also want to be fuel saving so that they don't have to sit in the pits too long. But Pace definitely doing well right now because he decided to fill his car, of course. So at the next pit stop, he has a lot less fuel that he'll need to put in. So he may just jump Safa and Diki.
Exactly, but the delta between Safa and Austria hasn't really decreased at the moment, so it kind of shows you that even for the guys from 1 to 5 are running similar paces. So that's going to be another development too.
Yeah, I think Australis is also on mediums. He has not done his hard stint yet, so everyone from 5 down has done a hard stint. So everyone from 4 down are on the same tire compound. So it makes sense that Australis and Safa are doing similar pace. Big question is the leaders running away, which it looks like Dino has put on about 6 seconds to Safa since they've pitted. So yeah, I think the big gap to look at is where Safa comes in. I see Australis now pitting with his mediums, and I'm guessing he may come out behind this group because he did start off close to the back.
So that's the entry of lap 6. So where does he filter in is the big question. And if he can squeeze in between those 2 Mercedes-Benz, then that is gonna bring a whole new level of racing.
Yeah, it looks like he's come out behind Nitro Merlin. So he's right at the back. Now he's on his softs. so he'll need to gain a lot of places now. Not sure why he didn't decide to quickly do his hards. That way he could probably had a lot more free air once he went on his softs, but yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. I know that Porsche is also not the greatest in a straight line, so tough track for the Porsche.
Interesting how that develops now that you talk about it. I mean, I would have thought that the Porsche is one of the quicker cars. It's one of the quicker cars in the ACC GT4 kind of sense. So it's strange that they have nerfed that poor little bugger that much in GT Sport.
Yeah, GT Sports BOP sometimes doesn't make sense, man. But
That's
Dino
great,
pulling a
fantastic.
massive gap to TSM right now, so Dino's looking strong. Also pulling a gap from Safa, but these guys have not been on slower compound yet, so it's a
They
matter of
haven't though,
time.
so it is. So they've got about the race started off with a 19 lap course. So if you take that, these tires where he sits, and I mean that's what lap 7. That looks very very well. So how far can he stretch that before he actually changes to mediums? And how long are the other boys gonna run their mediums before they hit over to softs?
Yeah, and as we know in GT Sports, you want to run those softs as long as possible, or at least until the time that they start doing the times that mediums do. So, see, Pace just overtook Diki there. So Pace looking strong and a lot more fuel than Diki as well.
And you did say that car is quick down here, so he is making up the time he lost wherever he lost it in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's one of the cars with probably one of the best cars with top end in this particular race. I'm not sure about other cars in other pools, but definitely him and Taylor Uwe and Jafil should be doing the best in terms of top end. This is just straights anyway, so we'll have to see. Taylor Uwe still close to John within a second. But yeah, like I said, enjoying those walls.
My favorite, man. And it's all just one of those miss a brake marker or brake too soft in the corner or just overshooting or not turning in at that right designated area that you've practiced all the time that can throw you off.
Yeah, and I think that's something that ACC maybe teaches quite well. You miss your braking point mark about half a meter on ACC, it's detrimental. So yeah, GT Sports you can still get away with braking a little bit later and still make the corner. But yeah, I know not everyone here in this lobby play ACC. Of course, Taylor Uwe is a real racer, and he races in Porsche Super Cup in Europe. But this is obviously a track he's never driven before, so well, not in real life at least.
Well, that shows you how wide the range of sim racing has gone lately. I mean, you've got guys that are actually doing racing to guys that love love doing ACC to guys that do GT Sport. I mean, the technology in its essence has grown that much where you can enjoy sim racing or racing to any level at any medium that suits you well, and it doesn't matter what you do, you're still gonna have fun, good, serious racing, which is kind of what we're watching at this moment. Top boys of South Africa, one Australian guy, that are kicking it down on a Tokyo track that probably doesn't exist in real life.
Yeah,
That's just fantastic.
You got to give it to GT Sport or Gran Turismo in general. They do make really good fantasy tracks. Some of my favorite tracks in the game are fantasy tracks.
Yes, mine as well. I mean, if we talk about it, the Dragon Trail Seaside one, or any of the Dragon Trail ones is one of the great ones that I can think has always been a favorite. It's probably still a very big favorite with any GTS kind of guy because you can run through that track, whether it be an F car or a GR1 or a GR2, GR3, GR4. You're still gonna have a phenomenal race throughout, irrespective of what you're driving, and that's a fantasy track car, built supposedly, where is it? Croatia is what they say it is.
Yeah, I think it's Croatia, yeah.
Exactly, and Croatia. Just thinking of that is such a beautiful country from a touristic view. Those mountain peaks are spectacular, and to think that you can actually put a fantasy track in a country like that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, man. Like I say, they just know how to make some fantasy tracks, man. St. Croix is a fun one. See Diki, Safa, and Jafil pitting right now. Pace staying out for another lap. His medium's still looking pretty good. Just maybe his softs don't last that long, so he needs to maybe do an extra lap on mediums. But like we said, he's going to have a big advantage in the pits, since he filled up his car in the last stint. Question is, when is Dino and TSM going to pit? Dino pulling a 8-second gap to TSM right now.
Just swallowed my words there. I was wondering the same thing. We've just gone more than halfway technically on the racetrack itself. They still been covering on their soft tires. Those are the three front running guys. Based on what estimation, Carolyn Pace is moving. So when those boys put, is Pace going to be the interim leader of the new race?
Yeah, we'll have to see. But I do see, looking at Dino's tires, they don't look too bad, to be honest. Dino does know how to drive on worn tires, so he always stretches his softs a little bit longer than most. But yeah, he's just pulling a massive gap to TSM right now, almost 9 seconds.
And that's fairly far.
Yeah, and Taylor Yui deciding to pit now, so he's going to the pits. We'll see where that brings Pace out, and whether Pace is actually going to pit now as well. It's another question that needs to be answered.
It's the dynamics of the different pit strategies, man. It's hard to call who's going to take it. We all know all these boys are quick. I don't think Dino has had a winning race thus far, so kind of interesting to see him in the front runnings now at this stage. I think he's had a few challenging races in the past.
Yeah, I do know he hasn't really been practicing for LNR this season. He's trying to focus on FIA. So, yeah, and I think he's also, when you've got guys like Diki and Safa there as well, it's a little bit more pressure than there was in the previous 2 seasons. Although Diki did drive the last few seasons, but I think his teammate pairings in the last couple of seasons haven't been as strong as it is right now. So yeah, Pace coming out now with fresh softs and coming out just behind Diki. So Diki and Safa gained a little bit there. But Pace obviously has a lap or two fresher tires.
He can take those softs all the way through now. So he's done all 3 his tire stints. Dino still hasn't done any of the other ones. TSM the same. Those 2 boys still have to pit twice.
Yeah, they're pitting right now. I see Dino heading into the pits. Guessing
so
TSM
this is where
is doing the same. Yeah. And we do know they'll need to stop again after this as well, so...
Exactly. So the guys like KLM who's already pitted twice, he's now on the ultimate tire that needs to be for the remainder of the race. So the question stands, did Dino and TSM create a big enough gap for them to maintain it, with the slower end tire or the harder compound tire, which is of course your mediums and your hard.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see now where Safa comes out. Of course, Dino is going to have to do hards and mediums. Let's see what he's on now. He's gone on mediums now, so he's probably going to do his last 2 laps on hards. He still has a 10-second gap to Australis, but we know Australis was at the back, and also needs to do another pit stop. So,
Well, also know that who can't we see? Dan the man, right?
no, we can't see D-Man.
D-man. So
Yeah.
we can't see D-man, but for those boys on the stream, sorry, it does look like he stands in the middle of the racetrack. It's not because he's broken down. It's not because he's not there. It's just we struggle to see him.
Yeah, somehow we're clashing with him in the lobby, so we don't see him moving, but he is racing. We just don't know where he is on track right now. To us, he's just standing still.
Yes, GT Sport probably gave us one of their difficult things today, and sadly we cannot see the man. So for those boys asking on the stream chat, why is there Jag Park on the corner? Well, that's what it is. He sits there, and he is racing somewhere. We are just clashing with him.
Yeah, and I see Mr. KLM Pace is now putting in fastest laps. He has passed Deaky now again. So yeah, he's in a strong position right now. We'll see if he can catch up to Safa as well. I'm sure
the man is moving.
These few guys are going to the end just like this.
They've done all their pit stops. They started off with the hards. They moved over to the mediums. Took that mediums for as long as they probably could, knowing that they will race with the remainder of the race with their softs. And again, the question now stands, because if you looked at what the Merc did, or what the Merc's tires looked like on the soft side of it, it really didn't look like it was that badly influenced.
Yeah.
So I also know that the car that KLM has is probably not good with tires. I mean, that car is fantastic. It's got great pace, but not the best with tires. However, Safa and Deaky is on a Merc, and again, if they drive the car the same that they did with Dino, their tires are going to last very long as well, so they're going to kick up the pace. I really want to know how this is going to turn out. I am very concerned for the guys of TSM and Dino to see if they're going to keep that level of pace up with slower tires and keep those boys behind them.
Yeah, they'll.
I don't know. What do you boys do?
Yeah, they'll definitely need to do that. I guess the advantage for them is the last 2 laps that they need to do on hards. They can do that literally with 0 fuel, which is going to count a lot. Where a lot of these guys did their 2 laps with a full tank. So, and we know these tracks with long straights, having less fuel makes you go faster down the straight. So.
Exactly. Hey, we got Fluffy in the stream talking as well. Yeah, ninjas for the win, he says.
Welcome, Fluffy.
Who's ninjas?
I think that's Fluffy's team.
I need to catch up on all these team names. I used to be so well with it. Nowadays I'm not. I'm really not. I can't keep up with all it. There's 2 different team sections. ACC has got TVT. GT Sports got TVT. Everyone's got their own team names. All I'm trying to do is remember the boys that race, and I know the Quick Boys currently is the boys in Pool A, with the exception of Fluffy that's not here tonight. But boy, are they doing a great race.
Yeah, and I see Pace has overtaken Safa. I don't know if something happened with Safa, because he was 2 seconds ahead, and now Deaky is right on the back of him. But yeah, Pace looking really strong right now, and doing solid laps as well.
So now we were how many laps left? That's like 19 minus 13. That gives me 5. Is that my math? No, 6. Oh, I'm awful with math. Someone needs to help me with that.
Yeah, so I think a pit stop that Dino will need to do is going to cost him about 30 seconds. So if Pace can catch up 9 seconds in this stint, he may be able to get past Dino. when Dino pits for hards, of course.
You say 9 seconds. I mean, 9 seconds sounds easily to be made up if you look at the the speed difference between softs and mediums. And again, those Safa boys are practically working very hard with KLM to try and make and gain gaps.
Yeah, you want to stand. Well, you want to be behind that car because it's going to pull you down the straight. So I think it's a good idea for them to be behind
So
KLM pace right now.
exactly. So they're really trying from a technical point of view to work their magic, keep their tires as not workable hard with the dirty air and all those jazz in it to maintain the pace, and pace is definitely putting it on the track. So I don't know. The winner for me cannot be determined at this moment with 6 laps to go.
Yeah,
It's gonna change
there's a lot
for
still to
sure.
happen. Yeah, 100% a lot more to happen. Yeah, Dino is looking about a second slower on the mediums than he was on the softs.
So that is time that can be easily gained. Again, was that the good choice? That's the thing. I love it when we throw a spanner in the wheel and we go like, boys, you have 3 compounds. Tell us, show us, what do you think is going to be the best way to win this race?
I like the idea of 3 compounds.
So do I. Well, again, I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's too much pitting, but then again, there's nothing wrong with too much pitting. But at the same time, it brings a different dynamic to everything.
Yeah, it would be interesting if tire wear was high enough and all 3 compounds were on offer, but you had to use 2 of them. But you kind of make tire wear high enough that a medium hard, one pit stop with medium and hards is still competitive with say a soft and hard stint.
Exactly. That would be nice if we could always do that. I think it's one of those things that we always wanted to achieve, whether it's our community or other communities out there. We always wanted to get that fine medium where you can probably have the option of someone running a hard medium compound and still be competitive to boys running a fully soft compound, whereby they need to pit more, but again, it might be quick close. But the way that these boys practice, at the end of the day, I've always learned that boys will always go for the better option. They'll do their races, they'll do their statistics, they'll do their tests, and they'll all probably will choose the fastest route. Which is
Yeah, and that's a fair enough point. But I think if tire wear is high enough, with the new longer pit stops, it gives that option of, well, I can save 30 seconds in the race if I don't use softs and I use mediums and hards. In the past, it was okay to always just pit for softs because pits were so quick. And now you would need to try and gain 30 seconds in the race if you do that extra stop, which, yeah. So, but it's difficult. It's difficult to manage those kind of things, man. And test.
So we still got the boys.
These things need to be tested, yeah. I see KLM pace is now at 37 seconds behind Dino, so yeah, it's going to be tight. I think Dino might still be a couple of seconds ahead when he needs to pit.
And but again, Dino has been on his mediums, right? So yeah, he's been running long stints on his medium. He's probably going to close it out with a hard.
He will. Yeah.
Is that quick enough to gain a win? And again, pace is pulling a slight gap here and there with the RTA boys, but they are still keeping up to him. Australis is in the Porsche is running a race on his own. He's been caught up by TSM.
So he's done. Needs to pit again. He needs to still do a hard stint. So yeah, basically 1 to 4 all still need to pit, and 5 to the back have done all their pit stops.
Okay, so 1 to 4 needs to do 1 more pit stop. 5 all the way backwards needs no pit stop. It's for them all the way to finish the race. And based on Mr. Anthony, who provided us the race rule regulations, we reckon the boys that still need to do a hard race will put before or on lap 17.
Yeah, they
Is
would
that
need.
my right calculations?
They could put on lap 18, end of lap 18, because it would still give them a full lap because they'd come out before the start-finish line and then still have to do a full lap on lap 19 and finish the race. So then they're basically doing a lap and a half on hards.
So we're going to probably see those boys coming in when they've started their lap 18. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I was my lap calculations was way off there.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what works out best. What works out best for these guys. But yeah, they technically have to do a full lap on the hards, which is at minimum a lap and a half.
Sure. So a couple of guys on the stream just popping in. I'm gonna say hi to them. So Fluff, I've said hi to Stephen or Stefan.
Stefan,
Excuse me if I
like it,
pronounce.
meneer, donkey.
Is it Stefan? Sorry, it's hard to say these days with a PH or an F as a f. So apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. And again, Malose is still there. Mitchum, is it? I think it's Mitchum. So again, if I pronounce your names wrong, excuse me because I do it quite often. It is hard. I've lost that South African flair of doing it. When you live in South Africa for not live in South Africa for so many years, it's kind of gets hard to pronounce names because you lose that touch. You start to learn that from the international words. The way when they spell a name, you kind of need to pronounce it the way they spell it.
Yeah, what I
Weird.
found out is I do a lot of work with Bank of Ireland, and man, some Irish names are tough, man. They are not said the way they are spelled. That's for sure.
No, they're not. That's the whole thing. I'm learning that
Yeah.
as we speak, and which makes it difficult. So for like Stefan, it will be Stefan, and I'm like, because again, that's more of a French kind of name, and I've spoken to a lot of international people, and people in France is Stefan, and so excuse it. I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm using your name as an example. Let's get out of the names. Let's look at the racing. We're on lap 17. It is what it is. I've gone way off track here.
Yeah, so it looks like Dino is going to pit in lap 18. So yeah, this is where things are going to get interesting. Pace is now 35 seconds behind. So
he has closed the gap. Okay.
He has closed it, but I don't know if he's closed it enough. So that's what we're gonna have to see.
That's what we're gonna have to see, whether he has closed that gap enough. Again, you said pit stops here were long when they initially climbed into the pits. I expected who was it? Someone to come in between the two RTA boys, but then he fell way at the back of the pack. So that's gonna be interesting. And again, KLM has created some gap between him or a buffer between him and the RTA boys.
Yeah, let's hope. Maybe we have a last lap battle going on, which could make things interesting. Let's see where Dino is on track. Yeah, he's still far from the pit stop. Astralis will also pit now. TSM JDJ will pit now as well as Taylor Uwe.
Onto the pits within the next lap or so. Well, now is where it's gonna go. They have no alternative other choice. It's time to climb into the pits so that they can do at least their 1.5 laps of racing on the hard compound tire, a tire which we suspect is about 2 or 3 seconds slower than the softs. Yet the boys running the softs, and those are the boys from 5th all the way down to the bottom, has been on that tire since about lap 10, all right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's if my memory serves me correctly. Again, I haven't done commentary in a while, and I haven't really followed where the statistics is. Normally I have a pen and paper next to me and I write all these things down. I go like, put it, put it, put it, put it. Here we go, boys in the pits, boys in the pits, let's go. Now we
Yeah,
gotta keep an eye on KLM.
Dino's coming out the pits now. So
Oh! Where is he featuring?
KLM Pace might come out second. It looks like he will. Pace is in second, about 10 seconds behind Dino. And
Oh,
TSM, Australis, and Taylor Yui still in the pits. So yeah, pit stop is long, man.
pit stop is long. And where does these Suffer boys come out? I mean,
Third
10
and fourth,
seconds
yeah.
adrift.
So we've got third and
Oh!
fourth for Diki and Safa. So yeah, they had really good stints as well.
That has changed the dilemma all the way upside down. Now, I don't think 10 seconds can be gained in a lap and a half. That's practically impossible. But the fact that these three boys have jumped most of the boys in front tells you a lot.
Yeah, we saw when they started their stints, Taylor Yui and TSM were just rubbing the walls a little bit too much, which of course costs a lot of time.
And those Lambos were probably the quicker choice of car besides Pace's car.
Yeah.
Sure, but the Viper does look good, man. The Viper is doing great. Again, it's a car with pace. I've always loved the GR4 Viper. Never did the GR3 though. I think my only gripe I ever had with the Viper was that the race start, it bogged down. It's got that bogging down kind of effect.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to go at all.
It's like the Toyota. Toyota's the same, man. You just know if it's a grid start, you're gonna suffer with the Toyota. If you start
like
pole, you by the first corner, you in 5th or 6th.
Yes, that was about the only terrible thing about the Viper, and that's probably where Pace lost most of his positions at the beginning of the race. I mean, he qualified top 5. I'm not 100%
Yeah, I
sure
think
where it was.
second or third, I believe.
Yes, so that's a fantastic drive from him. He went from second to third all the way to the back, took it in and started climbing the ladder all the way from there, finishing up in second, it looks to be. Dino finishing up the last few corners of the race itself. And then we've got Diki, Safa, TSM, Australia, Taylor, and Nitro closing it off.
Yeah, and somewhere in there is D-Man, which we cannot see. And there, Dino crosses the line. KLM Pace in second, followed closely by Diki and Safa. And about 10 seconds behind them is TSM JDJ with Australis right on the back of him. And Taylor Yui finishing it in 7th and Nitro Merlin in 8th. And somewhere along the line is D-Man. We cannot see him. So he could also be in the mix there and we don't even know about it.
Oh, yeah, that's the unfortunate. Forgot about him again. Fluffy says no, one of the best launchers. So Fluffy went on chat and indicated that apparently the Viper is one of the best launchers. Again, I didn't know that. I drove it many moons ago, and when I say many moons, we're talking probably about 2 years ago. So, all right, a lot has changed. A lot has changed.
100%. I see we have 15 people viewing, but only 5 likes. Come on, guys. Jeez, like.
Hey,
Just
this
click that like
is us
button
on the
there.
stream. Click a like, subscribe, share, screen. Again, boys, thanks everyone for watching. It was actually quite good commentating, even though I was commentating while watching the stream. I couldn't see the real live race, but it was actually quite good. Thanks for everyone that did actually join the stream. So big ups to who? Sean, Louis, Fluffy, Stignator, Stefan. I don't know who else is watching. Thanks all you boys for watching.
Louis.
I'll let you finish it off with the closing results.
Yeah, man. So Dino first, KLM Pace second, Diki third, Safa fourth, TSM JDJ 5, Australis 6, Taylor Yui 7th, Nitro Merlin 8th, and D-Man is somewhere in there. So I don't know if he's 9th or if he is 1st or 2nd. We'll see once the results get shared on Discord. But yeah, just in final closing, Sean, thanks for joining tonight. This was fun. And yeah, thank you to LNR sponsors, Twins Motorsports, Steakhouse Red, and Sky Coffee. And guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week, I believe.
Cheerios. Cheerios.
Oh,
Be
no
good.
news, no
Uh,
news on the next race. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But
we do, we do, we
oh, do
do.
we? Do we?
Yeah. So next race is a track that everyone kind of hates. I did ping it to you, but I probably did it too late. That's what reminded
Wait,
me to do it. So we got
I am I
Koto
am
driving Prague.
I am so quick with things. I can display it in a second. Let's do that.
Get a John Cena finish. We're not 100% sure, Stignator. Let's see if we can get Mr. Ruan to give us next week's race. Again, round 5. For those boys that don't know how the regulations work, while you do your magic in the background, I'll keep everyone entertained. So you got a race regulation that's going to go on, so a bit of a pool shuffle here and there. Boys are going to go up and down the pool lobby slots. So next week, you boys are going to see new guys in the pool A, and this is their track. Not a
Yeah,
favorite for all.
Kyoto driving. Oh, it's a long version.
Yes,
Yeah,
not a favorite at all.
this is a tough track, man. Uh,
Very tough track. I can see a lot of people biting their nails, hating the Hatter at this moment. Not not a classic fan favorite.
yeah, 17 laps, racing softs, racing mediums. Yeah, that's a long track, 6.8 kilometers. So yeah, we'll just have to we'll just have to see how it goes there. But yeah, so we'll have how many? Two or three new drivers next week, something like that.
Three, I think. Three new drivers. So it's a pool relegation that will take place over the next few days. People will shuffle a bit up and down. Hopefully, we'll get some new, fresh blood in the mix and get the competition more fiercely closer together.
Sounds good, Sean. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome. And yeah, guys, we'll remember to like the video, please. And we'll see you guys for next week's very long track um, with a couple of new drivers. Cool. Cheers, gents.